Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Vic and I have a super sweet dragon card and I've used my silhouette machine for the dragon, and then I'm also going to be using some die cuts too. So to start with, I have a piece of A4 card, so I'm just trimming this at 7 inches and then I'm going to score this at 3.5, so that's my slimline card base. So the card I've used is a light green card, but I do end up changing this just to some white plain card at the end of the video. Next, I've got the Time for Tea Designs, the Slimline Scallops cover plate die. So I've just gone ahead and die cut a piece of this using some white card. And now I've just gone ahead and with my silhouette machine, I've cut out the dragon. So I'm just getting all the pieces together. So as there's quite a few layers with this, what I'm doing here, I'm just putting the layers in order, so then when I start ink blending, I know which layer to do first. I'm going to be using some distress ink to colour in all the layers, and then I have the Time for Tea Designs beautiful blender brush. So to start with, I'm using some spun sugar. I wanted my dragon to be a girly dragon, and of course you can use pattern paper or just plain card, but I enjoy adding the colours to the white card. So I've got my inks ready. Next I've got some yellow ink, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink up this little part of the body here. Again, I'm using my Time for Tea Design blenders. You can also use your sponge applicators, and now I'm going in with a light purple colour. Once I've ink blended each piece, I will keep layering them up just so I get a rough idea of what the dragon looks like. And here I've just got a black Copic marker because it's got its eyes peeking through. So I'm just going to get my marker and just quickly colour in the area where the eyes will be. And then again I'm adding the layers just to see how everything looks. So now I'm just adding some darker purple because this bit will be showing through. And again, just keep, when you're using your silhouette machine, I found it so easy just to keep checking the layers because it's so hard to know exactly where everything goes if there's quite a few layers. So now I'm just adding some pink to the wings, and then I'm going to go in with some green, so this will show through on the little bits that are peeking through on the wings. And then once I've finished ink blending that, I'm going to put all the little pieces together. So I'm just using some PVA glue and then adding the layers as they go. So I'm starting with the back layer and then moving through them towards the top layers. Once all my layers have been glued down, the little dragon's complete, and I'm so happy with how he turned out. I think he just looks super sweet. So I was quite glad to have had this idea to colour them in with the inks. And now I'm doing some more ink blending. So I've got my Time for Tea Design Scene It stencil, and I'm just pressing the ink pad down on my table and then picking up the ink with the blender brush. And each time I do this, I clean the stencil so that there's no ink smudging against the white card. So I'm just taking my time with this and using some nice bright purple for the sky, and then I'm going to go in with some pink, and again doing exactly the same procedure, just pressing it down on my table and then picking up the ink. And then I also find it helpful when you're using your stencils, if there's room to actually start ink blending on the stencil and then moving this towards your card so you don't go in too heavy with the ink. So that's another thing that I do. That's why my stencils probably look so messy while I use them. And then once I've ink blended the last bit, I will then pick up some more of that same coloured ink and just go over the bottom part. So now I've got some white gesso paint, and I'm just mixing this with a little bit of water just to add some little droplets to the background. And then I'm going to go in with the dusty Concord ink just to add some more colour, because the white, I just thought it needed something else. And then I'm also going to go in with another colour. I've got some blue. I actually think that's peacock feathers I'm using there. So I'm again just mixing it with water and just adding some droplets to the background. Now I've got the Dream Big Sentiments die from Time for Tea Designs, and I've also got some Papermilldirect glitter card. So with the Dream Big Sentiments die, I'm going in with the bigger sentiment first. So this will be the back piece. And I love this sentiment. It just is so fun to use. So now I'm just going over the silver glitter card, and that's with the bit that goes on top. And here is where I changed my card base as well, because I thought the green, even though it was very pretty, it just seemed to clash with all the colours that I've used. So now I'm just using some PVA glue to adhere the dies together. And as my background is so bright and colourful, I wanted to bring in something a bit more subtle. So I've got the Time for Tea Designs Windmil add-on die. So I've just gone ahead and die cut some clouds, just using some white card. And now I'm just putting some double-sided tape onto the Slimline die that I cut out, and I'm adhering that to my card base. Now I'm just deciding where to place the clouds. Once I'm happy with them, I'll then adhere them down just using some PVA glue, and I've also used PVA glue for the Dream Big sentiment. And then for my dragon, I've got some foam pads, so I'm just adding these to the dragon, and then I'll go ahead and adhere the dragon down too. And then I wanted a sentiment, so I've got some bright pink cards, so I just went ahead and used the Uniquely Creative Block Outline Sentiment stamp, and I heat embossed the happy birthday just using some white embossing powder. So I'm going to trim this down and then adhere it to my card. I'm just deciding where to place it at the minute, but then I decided probably looked better under the Dream Big die. So I'm just adding some foam pads to the back of this, and then I'm going to adhere that down. And then I was going to leave the card as it is, but nope, I had to add some more things. So I've just got some little gems, and I'm just adhering these down with some PVA glue, and then my quick cuts, I think that is the pickup tool. So it has a sticky end, so it's quite easy to pick up the little gems. You can add anything you like. Some sequins would look really pretty, or some Nouveau drops. And I'm really happy with how this card turned out, and it was nice to do something different using my silhouette machine. So that is the finished card. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you did. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.